I just have to speak on this because when I was growing up, man, when I was growing up, Manchester United, they were something massive in Europe, right? Playing for Manchester United, representing that red shirt, representing that badge, playing in the theater of dreams, it meant something. It was really, really important. It was an important team in football, right? It was a team that the standards were so high that only other teams that kind of really compared to what they were doing was the top Italian teams. And you had Bayern and Real Madrid and Barca, right? Those were like the ones that's where they were. That's the standard that team was. It was up there with the best of the best. And now I can't really explain what is happening. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, Marcus Rashford obviously went on loan to Aston Villa, right? But in terms of football, when you're considered one of the top wingers in football, right? There was a year where people were saying that Marcus Rashford was the best winger in football. That's how good he was playing. I want to say 3-4 years ago or something like that. He just had a year where people were like, this guy's incredible. And when he first came on the scene, everybody was like, this kid's incredible. He's going to be one of the best talents in football. To go from Manchester United and to go to Aston Villa, and again, I don't mean this in any way. I don't mean this in any way shade, okay? I support Benfica. People will say all the time that my club's a farmer club or a small team, whatever. Like, I'm not here to argue. I'm not here to, like, make fun or say anything negative about anybody's team, okay? What I am trying to say to you is, for you to take that step from Manchester United and go to Aston Villa, that is in the grand scheme of like football and like the big world, the big picture of big teams being Bayern, Madrid, all that stuff, that would be considered a step backwards for Marcus Rashford professionally, right? Because he was considered this huge talent that you would think the next step for him out of Manchester United would be a Bayern, a Madrid, a huge, huge team that's competing for the Champions League every single season. Instead, he went to Aston Villa on loan. But that's not where this gets juicy. Where it gets juicy is when Jadon Sancho, who used to play for Manchester United, goes on loan to Chelsea, and I believe they have an obligation to buy, and decides to go on IG and put freedom under Marcus Rashford, under his post. What the hell is going on at Manchester United? Because if Ten Hag was still there and he said freedom, I would be like, I know what he's talking about. I know what he's talking about. He's upset about the way that Ten Hag was coaching, the way Ten Hag was managing, the way Ten Hag was running the football club and not giving him playing time. I understand completely. But for him to say freedom and Ten Hag's not even there, it's a new manager, it's new staff. Jadon Sancho never really worked with these guys, right? Freedom for what? Because now you got me really thinking. Is it freedom from the fans? Freedom from the ownership? Freedom from the whole situation? Because you don't know Ruben Amorim. You don't know Ruben Amorim's staff. Like Ruben might have been, Jadon Sancho and Ruben might have been, they might have gotten along so well. And he might have actually, Jadon Sancho might have been, the next Vinicius Jr. under Ruben Amorim. We don't know. He doesn't know. So for him to say freedom, there's got to be something extremely discombobulated at Manchester United. And I know people are going to say ownership, but how much do the owners actually get involved with the players? Is there more going on that we don't know about behind the scenes? Because it doesn't make sense for him to say freedom. Freedom from what, bro? You don't know this manager. You don't know this staff. You don't know. You never even worked with them. So I can't wrap my brain around what he's trying to say. Now, I also heard rumors of Marcus Rashford that he's going to travel. And again, I don't want to speak on something that I don't know. I was scrolling social media and I saw something, and I'll give my opinion on this, but I don't really want to say if it's true or not. But supposedly he's staying in the exact same house and he's traveling 2 hours to go to training every day. So he stays in where he's been, right? I don't know if that's true, but if that is true, I just want to say that's the worst situation for Marcus Rashford, because whatever's going on in Marcus Rashford's life right now, it seems that getting away for a little bit might be the best thing for him. Like, I personally thought a move for Marcus Rashford to the AC Milan, to an Italian team would have been better to get away from England for a little bit, to get away from that circle of friends that he's gotten, the getting maybe a little bit too comfortable in that routine he's been in. Sometimes a change of area, a fresh start is what a player needs. Because I truly believe Marcus Rashford is an extremely talented player. I think when that kid is on, he is absolutely insane. But something, in my opinion, I think he's lost love for the game. I've seen this happen in many players. There was one player way back in the day that got involved very much with alcohol because of his father's passing. His name was Adriano. He was one of the best strikers in football, and personal like his personal life just kind of, messed up his career, right? And it's one of those things where sometimes you lose love, you fall out of love with the game. And I think Marcus Rashford, maybe that's happening, and I think he needs to go somewhere where he can really fall in love with the game again. And maybe that's Aston Villa. But when you're staying around the same people, the same routine, you're going to the same grocery store, you're going to the same pubs, you're going to the same everything, I'm not sure if that's a whole reset for him. So I wish the best for Marcus Rashford, but this Jadon Sancho situation really, really shocked me. And I even had to look it up. But so it's a loan for the entire season, obligated to buy. Chelsea must make the loan permanent next summer with a fee of 20 to 25 million. Sancho accepted significant pay cuts. Because how I was going to speak on this was, okay, I was going to be like, if you have to go back to that club and you're saying freedom, that just doesn't look good. But I want to let y'all know something. I know this was a long time ago, right? But when I was growing up, I remember Ferguson having problems with David Beckham because of haircuts and because of like his swag, and there was standards, right? Like they wanted you to be a certain way. I'm pretty sure back then Alex Ferguson, a lot of managers used to get their players to get married because they felt that if a player got married, they would be more calm, more relaxed. They got a family. They're not going to the clubs. They're not going out with girls all day. And that's kind of what it was. And nowadays, and now I look at what this club is and all the leaks that come out and the players that leave there bashing the club. It's just an entire mess of a situation at Manchester United. And I can't wrap my hands around what the heck happened. Where did this club go so wrong? Where did it go from being a club that was cared about how someone cut their hair and the standards of this and that and holding everything to such a high standard to players saying freedom when you leave Manchester United? You leave Manchester United and say freedom. That's just, I know Italian football has come down a lot in the last couple years. It feels like it's coming back. But when you make it to AC Milan, to Inter, to Juve, those are top teams, bro. That's top of Europe. That's the top. That's up here. That's history. You know what I'm saying? Manchester United, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal. There's history, right? There's the top. Real Madrid, Barca, the top. Bayern, the top. That's the top of Europe, dude. There's no more going up. And for you to say freedom for leaving a club that's considered a top team, I can't wrap my head around what's going on. And I can't sit here and blame the manager because Jadon Sancho don't know the manager. He don't know the staff. He don't know the people that are working the club now. But what he does know is the people above the manager. And if that's where the problem's coming, then is it ownership or whatever it was that had a problem with Marcus Rashford and kind of wanted Ruben to solve it or something? I don't know. Were they the ones that didn't really want him to get playing time? Because, again, freedom, I don't know. Anyways, it's just my 2 cents. I just want to kind of talk about that for a minute and kind of let you guys know how I'm kind of seeing the Manchester United ordeal. Because, again, lads, I grew up Benfica all day, every day, bro, okay? When I was in school, I used to be writing on my paper Benfica a million times, just waiting to come home and watch the games. But when I watched other leagues, because I'm a football fanatic, I'm watching other leagues. I would like to watch Madrid. I like to watch Manchester United. I don't get sad when they lose, so I'm not a fan like that. But those are teams I like to watch. Trust me, if I was a Manchester United fan, I'd be in tears. I would hate to have to. I feel bad for United fans having to deal with this. But man, it's really, really 0 to 100 real quick. This club went from other way around to 100 to 0. It is a mess, bro. Let me know what you guys think down below.